NBA All-Star Weekend, right? Shout out to the greatest NBA 75, man. It was good seeing everybody come out. I really enjoyed it. I love it when you get stars like that. I love it when the NFL does it. I love it when the NBA does it. I love it just to see all the greats, like when the NFL did the 100 anniversary team, and I think it was Bill Belichick and was it Chris Collinsworth? Where they broke down the best players, the best 100 players in each category.
Oh yeah, they had like the panel that kind of did that. Yeah,
I watched that. That was pretty good. I like stuff like that. So it was good seeing all, like, not all 75, but just like, And I was sad a little bit Kobe couldn't be there, Even showed up in an all black, shirt, probably all black suit, but but it was a good weekend. So, me and Craig was just talking about it. The dunk contest. What do you guys' thoughts on that?
Let me just say, go back to the 75 thing. Like, the 75 was good. Like, I didn't think Michael Jordan was going to show up because earlier in that day he had a
NASCAR, right?
Yeah, the NASCAR race. He's the owner of one of the teams, so I didn't think he was going to show up, because I didn't see any pictures or anything like that. And then they called him out last, so that was cool to see him there, and then see the interaction between him and LeBron and like all the interactions in general. And then, like, obviously with no Kobe being there, and he wasn't there. He wasn't in the 50 greatest. So kind of not seeing him there was sad. Actually, it was not kind of, but it was sad not seeing him there and interacting with some of those guys he used to play with or just go against. And then, like, some of the guys that were there for the 50 greatest, like Wilt Chamberlain and Moses Malone, these guys weren't even there this come around. So that's sad to see, not having those greats there as well. But like, overall, that interaction, just seeing those guys and hearing some of those stories and stuff like that, and just kind of going over the list, because ESPN put their list out of the top 75 in order. So I have kind of debate with some of that, not really the top 10. I mean, I got one person that I thought was, to me, in my top 10 is outside, Oscar Robertson, and I put Shaq in the top 10, but then to kind of mess around with the order of that top 10. But like, some of those other stuff, like, I thought they could have put some people out and some people got in or whatever it is. But I think they did a good job. It's not even, well, it's top 76 because of the tie, but there's always snubs, people that should have gotten in. So, and then there's kind of like who was going to be in the top 100 in 25 years, like some of the stars that are in the league now, and some of the stars that didn't make the list, like Klay Thompson, for example, or Dwight Howard, that's probably going to be in the top 100. And then, like I said, the young guys like Ja Morant and Luka, the Joker, some of those guys I know are going to be in the top 25 or top 100. So
LaMelo, Mike.
Yeah, LaMelo, stuff like that. So I mean, that's funny. I was
it's a long time, man. We'll be old.
Yeah, but I mean, it'll still be cool to see some of those guys, I guess. Get in. But man, as far as the dunk contest goes, like, it just wasn't good. Like, it was to the point where I muted the TV and I just wasn't paying attention to it. I like Cole Anthony for obvious reasons. He went to Carolina. And I thought when he put his Timbs on, I was like, okay, now there was the first dunk, whatever it is. He was taking his time, taking all day, but I was intrigued by what he was about to do because I had no clue. But dunking in Timbs is just, I mean, people don't do it for the most part.
Yeah, I liked it. It's New York. I was like, yes, this is how the dunk contest is starting, and it took a long time.
And it took a while, but I thought, okay, maybe the payoff was going to be worth it. And then he did some windmill dunk on the attempt, and I was like, okay, you got to do something else, man. Like, you can't come out there and take all day and put Timbs on.
It was all
go out there with your dad out there, and then that's the first thing you do is do a windmill dunk. Like, no.
And his dad played in New York too, right?
Greg Anthony
played for New York, right? Greg Anthony, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just like, this is not it, man. Like, you got to do something better. And then it just got worse and worse. It's like Obi Toppin just didn't have any power. in his dunks. It just made it look like he was effortless. And then like some of the other people that Juan, whatever his name is from Golden State, I thought he was decent. But I mean, I don't really know him. But that's no reason not to say he should have won or lost. But and then Jalen Green just didn't have it. He just wasn't good enough. He wasn't not this year. Last year he was solid, but this year he wasn't. But I mean, the dunk contest just needs to be overhauled. I think just looking at it like this year and last year, there was no 50s. You had to go back to 2021 to figure out the last time there was no 50s. At least 150 on either round of the dunk contest. You got to go back to 2021. So that's 20 years worth of dunk contests in between that have had their share of whatever they had going on. Some didn't have the scoring like that, like 2014.
2001, right?
2001. After the Vince Carter one was the one that didn't have a 50 in it. So
was the Vince Carter one? Is that the one with Tracy McGrady?
That was 2000. Yeah, that was Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady.
That's
that was a good one. That was a really good one. That was a
that was go against Vince Carter. He would have won.
But that was 2 years after it was off because of they took a year off because of WNBA merger type thing they had going on at one event in '98. And in '99 they had the lockout, so they didn't even have it.
Yes, you're right because they had the short.
They came back.
Was it 52 games in '99? Short season, yeah.
It was short season.
Yeah.
But the dunk contest, man, it just needs to be fixed. I got a bunch of fixes. I had like 15, 16 fixes.
15, 16 fixes, Craig?
Just
what do you got?
Possible things that they could do. Now I narrowed it down to 10 because okay, so the first thing I got is
you did the homework for me because I was like, I'm not doing it. I mean, listen, because to be honest, I was like, you had Reggie Miller and them talking about it should have been the 3-point contest should have been last.
I think
that's crazy.
They've been saying that for a while.
And I agreed with it. I agreed. I was like, yeah, I would have loved to close it out.
So I forgot that all that stuff was going on Saturday until you guys started texting about it. And I think it says something for the All-Star weekend that the only thing I saw on Twitter with all of the sports accounts that I follow, only thing I saw get some traction on Twitter was them asking the winner about Reggie Miller and the other co-host, essentially knocking the dunk contest going last, and it shouldn't have. Like that's not the thing that people should be talking about after the dunk contest.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It should have gone sooner, and it shouldn't have been the highlight of the weekend.
Yeah, that's a
All-Star weekend to me, like the whole weekend outside of the dunk contest was good to me.
All of it was phenomenal.
I like the change that they made to the sophomore rookie thing where they have a bracket now. They have smaller teams and they go against each other and they battle it out. The celebrity thing is just a celebrity thing. That is what it is. I'd like to change to the skills competitions that are having like 8 people go at it or 6 people go at it in a bracket and you just run around the little course. I like the way that they changed it up this year and they added different type of events to that. It lasted a little bit too long to me, but I think they just need to go back and figure out how to fine tune it. And this is the first year that they did this, so I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And how that played out. The 3-point contest it is what it is. The 3-point contest is always good. It's just
always good
shooting. You're just shooting the ball, so that's always good. This dunk contest was terrible. The All-Star game to me was really good.
Really good.
That was good. There's no defense being played for the first like 10 minutes of each quarter, except for the last quarter. But I mean, the last 2 minutes it gets a little bit more defense involved because you have a charity that you're playing for.
Yeah.
So you want to win the quarter to get money for your charity. So
that was going off, man.
Yeah. And Steph, 16 threes. I didn't even realize he had 16 threes.
Like, yeah, I texted. I was like, yo, Steph is going off. He just kept.
And then to have LeBron hit the game winning shot in Cleveland, like it was only right. But as far as the dunk contest goes, all right, I'm just running down real quick.
Yeah, run them down. Let's hear it, y'all.
Number one is to get more stars. Obviously, they always say that. John Morant could be in there. Zion Williamson, if he gets healthy. Anthony Edwards is another second-year player who's really good. They
discounted it though, Craig. Every time I
know that's the thing that nobody wants to do it.
Like I would love to see John Morant. I would love to see what's his name? You just said his name from the Timberwolves.
Anthony Edwards.
I would love to. And they'd be like, "Are you gonna be in dunk contest?" Nah. I do it.
I mean, there's really no incentive for anybody to do it anymore. Like LeBron said he was going to do it years ago. He didn't do it. He's not going to do it now. He's 37. I mean, so, but whatever. I think they needed some stars, though, to build it up, to get some hype involved. Number 2 is to get amateurs. I know Stephen A. Smith said this the other day, too, but like Jordan Kilgannon, he's really good. He can dunk. Chris Staples is another one.
These are all like, are they amateur basketball? Are they like straight dunkers?
They're in this, or at least I know Jordan is. He's in a group called Team Dunk Elite or something like that.
Yeah, so they're just dunkers.
Yeah,
but
they're really good at what they do. Like I mean, these guys blow some of these NBA guys.
Because that's what they do. That's all they do is dunk, and it would highlight them. And for us, it would be entertaining. Like it would highlight the amateur level. NBA players, they don't really, come on, man. It's a fact that they don't want to do it, but they'll highlight guys that actually do this for a living. I would love it. I think it would be.
Yeah, that'd be great.
At least do it for like a year. Test it out and see how it works out with some of these amateur guys that can come in. Even if you have them compete against NBA players or something like that, some type of thing. But I'm just saying, like, you can have some type of competition going on. At least, I'm not saying like team-wise, like have their team go against the NBA team in the dunk contest. Just have them just battle it out and see who's the better.
Like amateur. Like if it would.
I mean, if you wanted to do a team,
it would have been. It would have been.
Or even like pair one of them with an NBA player.
Something like that.
Have like those pairs go against each other.
Give me something different than what's been happening. Because the last two, like I said earlier, the last 2 years to me have been bad. 2020s was good. Especially the finals. That was good. Between Dennis Smith Jr. and Aaron Gordon. I thought Aaron Gordon got robbed again, but that was a good dunk contest. But that was 2 years ago. It's not like it was like 10 years ago. But I think they still, after this last one, they need to figure something out. You could raise the dollar amount, or add a charity for each player. Maybe that'll get them more excited to actually want to go out there and don't. I'm probably not the money thing because they're making millions of dollars anyway. But you kind of do it for a charity, maybe, or maybe you bring somebody.
Because that's what the 3-point contest was about too.
I think the home run derby does it too.
Yeah,
I think they have a charity that each player pays for. I could be wrong, but I think so. Another thing is to make it a bracket format. You could have 6 dunkers or 8 dunkers, or even if you just do a minimum that they've been doing the last however many years, 4. So that way you can get like a trash talk. If you have Zion going against Ja Morant in the first round, you can have some type of trash talk with them on Twitter or Instagram or something like that. Some type of hype that you can build it up with, and just have
like
a bracket.
A bracket, somebody maybe they get voted and then they get like that or something like that. Okay.
Yeah, and they did a bracket a few years ago. And they only did it once, but they could always bring that back. You definitely got to speed the contest up. Either bring back the shot clock that they had, or have a limit of so many attempts. Now I get that sometimes the attempts are actual dunks that don't go in, but sometimes you got to cut it out and be like, okay, you went up there for an attempt, but you didn't try to dunk it. But I mean, we got to count it because it's taking too long. Like after a certain point in time, you got to come on.
That shot clock was a good idea.
It shouldn't take 2 hours to make one dunk attempt. And then when you finally make it, after 8 tries of you trying to do it, to me, it kind of takes away from the score.
Yeah.
So I can't award you a 10 if you just took 8 attempts to even.
That gets the momentum away too. It's like, okay.
It does. And it takes all the air out of the arena, especially if you go up for something crazy and then it doesn't happen. And then next time, and then you get more tired as you keep trying to do it. So you're not going to really, it's just not, nah. Another one, lower the rim to 8 or 9 feet. Now I don't know if this was
John Moran had a saying too. He said he wanted the rim to be 11.
Oh, see, that's gonna be too much because some players are having trouble with dunking the ball on 10 convincingly, like all the time. You lower it down to 8, you can easily do more crazier dunks to me because you don't have the jump as high.
9.5, maybe.
Something like that. 8, 9 feet. Just lower to 9 feet. Try it out, whatever it is. I don't know. Do something different because clearly 10 feet. Obi Toppin is dunking the ball. Cole Anthony is 6'3". He's barely even getting the ball in. And when he does get it in, it's not like it's a big emphatic dunk.
Okay.
Number 7, you could bring back some props that they weren't in there really this year. I don't know what that was with the NFT and the.
Was that Jalen Green?
Yeah, and the Tims, and then one dude had Dr. J sign the ball. I'm thinking, okay, you're gonna do something crazy like a Dr. J type of dunk. It wasn't nothing. So I don't know what that was. Bring back the Dwight Howard card.
Did Dr. J dunk when he signed it. I thought he was gonna do
I
something.
thought he was gonna do something Dr. J style too, but he didn't. Like bring back where you take the jersey off and all of a sudden you got a Vince Carter jersey on or something like that. You're gonna do a Vince Carter dunk or a Jordan dunk.
I saw the guy from Golden State do that. He took off his jersey. And
I stopped watching. I don't know. Maybe you're right. He probably did. I don't know. At a certain point, I just gave up on it.
He had what's his name from Golden State that won it? Richardson.
Oh. Jason Richardson?
Yeah, Jason. Now that dunk, that was a good dunk.
It was a great dunk. That was a long time ago though. You could play a game of horse with the dunks, or maybe call it dunk instead of horse. Make it shorter. You have to mimic the same dunk, and the judges have to judge who did it better, or if you copied his dunk or whatever it is. I don't know, just the idea. Probably not the greatest, but is what it is. I think you need to have previous winners and or participants that were in the slam dunk contest before as judges, like Dr. J, Dominique, Vince Carter, something like that. Yeah, like you have Dwayne Wade in there as a judge, or
should have Aaron Gordon. Like, Vince Carter, Aaron Gordon.
No disrespect to some of these judges. Like they had one year, they had DJ Khaled. Yeah. Like I don't want to see. No, just give me somebody who knows what a good dunk is. Dr. J is usually in there, and so most Dominique is too.
Dominique, so you should
gotta do something different, man.
So have it mixed. Have old school, then have somebody who was in it.
You could even have a wild card in there. Like I know Isaiah Thomas has done the judging for the dunk contest. Have him in there as a whatever. Just don't give me celebrities, Chris Rock or I don't want to see that. My last thing I got.
I don't think it was any celebrities though.
No, not this year.
Because it was a 75. I got you, but previous
years there has been either like celebrities. Sometimes there've been celebrities or like non-dunk contest dunkers in the as a judge. Like Dwayne Wade one time, and he pretty much screwed over Aaron Gordon.
He screwed over Aaron Gordon. That's
and my last thing I got is to give each judge an ability to have for one dunk grant an 11 instead of a 10. You go higher than
the score.
Yeah. So that way, some of these controversial dunks or whatever it is, you can just award one throughout the whole contest, just 111. But I mean, I like the dunk contest, but man, this year I don't think I've ever just like not cared and just muted the TV.
What about back in the day? I did see this. I don't remember this. They had NFL stars doing the dunk contest.
I do remember that. Deion Sanders was in it.
Deion Sanders, Chris Carter. I saw clips. Michael Irvin. That would be I would watch that. I would watch. You said who? Miles Garrett will be in it. Devontae Adams, I know, will be in it. I wouldn't mind that doing it for a charity. That would be different.
It would be different.
I would be like, okay, let's see. And then I wouldn't mind if they mess up because they're not like.
You could even lower.
I could see, man. Yeah, then I could see it. I would love to see a tomahawk from Devon. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, because they're not NBA players; they're just regular NFL players. So I think it'll be.
I mean, they're still professional athletes.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I'm sorry. They go to the gym every day. I'm sorry, guys. No, they are professional athletes. They're just not NBA players. But it would be awesome for them to do alley oops and reverse dunk. I saw that. I was like, oh man. So
I think it would also be some interesting perspective in that, it's not like one of us being trotted out there. It's still a professional athlete, but seeing just how much different it is from the NBA player still.
Yeah. So I think they should maybe try out the NFL, and I think they should do amateur because, like Stephen A. was saying, and like you're saying, I think you said it last week too. I'll see clips of people that they just dunk. That's their thing. And why not every year they look forward to it and, have something on, I don't know what they do Friday, right? But Friday have like a prelim or a little elimination. And then Saturday have like all the amateurs that made it from Friday and just do it that way, man. I think that'll be awesome because it highlights them. And then the NBA players could, at this point, man, it used to go from, Craig, I used to love the 3-point contest and I love the dunk contest. Every year, it'd be like dunk contest, dunk. I gotta watch it. it hasn't been like that. It's been like, oh, this dunk contest is good, and then 3 years later, this one is good.
But when I saw Obi Toppin was in it again, I was immediately turned off. Immediately turned off. I don't want to see Obi Toppin in there again. I said it last week, I believe. I don't want to see him in there. I just don't. Cole Anthony, I like Cole Anthony, but he's not a dunker.
He's not going to be in there next year, man.
I hope not. I hope not, because whoever is in there next year has to come up with something innovative. Like, you have to just practice your dunk. You can't just go in there and think you're just gonna wing it and just the day before and just start coming up with stuff. You have to go in there thinking about what you're gonna do months in advance and practice the dunk or something like that, and just get out there and just rehearse it and do whatever you have to do. Get your props ready, get your whatever you need done, because you can't go out there and just try 15 tries at a dunk anymore. Like, we have to, after a certain amount of attempts, you just got to get yourself a 6. That's pretty much, that's it.
Yeah.
I can't, this year has to be better. It has to be.
Yeah.
I would assume. Can't get no worse than this one. This was the worst dunk contest I've ever seen. I couldn't finish it. Couldn't finish it.
This was bad, man. You had the announcers going off.
I turned it off before I even knew who won. I didn't find out who won until the next day.
Jabbar got up. I think Jalen Green. Remember when Jalen Green was trying to do the dunk from the baseline?
No.
He was trying to do the dunk from the baseline, and Kareem got up. Kareem
after the NFT thing, that's when I was like, I'm done. After the NFT and he didn't do nothing with it, I kind of gave up on it. I was done after that point because I thought he was going to do something. He didn't do anything.
He took it off. He had it, and then he was like,
what was the point?
I don't know.
I get he's trying to.
I don't know.
He's trying to promote his NFT, which okay, but do something.
Yeah.
Put it on the backboard. Jump up there, put it on your neck, and dunk the ball at the same time or something. Give me something.
Put it on the rim, dunk it, and then take it off.
Put the chain on while you're in the air. Practice that though, but practice it at home or something like that, so that way you know you can do it. Just I don't know, just give me something than what they just did, because that wasn't good, man. It's very disappointing.
So I don't. Okay, this has been going around. I don't really care for it. This player is still playing, but there was a big stink about it. So LeBron James did an interview with Kenny Smith, and he said that after he booked Golden State, he considers himself the greatest of all time. Does anybody have a problem with that he said it? Because every news station is like, it's Jordan, but this is my thing. Jordan says that Jordan doesn't even call himself the greatest of all time. He says that he's the greatest from his era. To each his own. I think LeBron is just saying like, hey, you get to a certain point, Kobe is like, I'm the greatest player. That's just how a player's mentality is. I don't think anything is wrong with it.
No.
Just
wouldn't it kind of be a bigger story if he was like, no, I'm not the greatest of all time?
Yeah. Yes. Like
it's one of those things. It's like, what do you expect him to say? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Kobe was on a late night show and it was like, who's greater? You, LeBron's like, I don't want to say it. Okay. Me, Jordan, and LeBron. Kobe's not going to defer to anybody else. He's going to say, I'm the greatest. That's how it is. Now, Shaq is different. Shaq's more humble. Shaq says, Bill Russell, Wilt, Kareem. He says Bill Russell, Wilt, Kareem.
Might even say George Mikan or something.
He might say George. That's better than him. But that's Shaq. That's how Shaq's been saying that. He doesn't do it. But I don't find a problem with it. But no. Craig, you have a problem with it? Oh, go ahead, Corey.
I was just saying, like, the way LeBron's been micromanaged isn't the word, but the way he's been put under the microscope and criticized his entire career. Had he not said that, he would have been killed for it too.
Yep. He doesn't have the killer mentality. He's like, hey, what do you want me to do?
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I think he's wrong, but I just don't. I don't agree with the fact. I don't know. I don't agree with LeBron's being the greatest of all time. I got him at number 2. If people think it's
that's going to be the argument for. That's like the Tom Brady argument. It's going to be
Nah, there's no Tom Brady argument.
Well, it was for a while. It was
There
for a while.
still is, but different topic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a different. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. I'm just saying that that's going to be the barbershop talk, and I think that I don't have a problem with LeBron saying it, and I just think that you
think LeBron's the greatest of all time?
His career's not done yet.
He's not one of more championships. He's not one of the more championships. He's over.
I don't know. I don't know, Craig. We have to wait till the man's career is done.
He's not. He's
when his career is done, we'll revisit the conversation.
Only way he'll win another championship is if he gets on Brooklyn or something like that, and he's not the best player on the team. There's no way LeBron James win any more championships, especially in LA. It's not going to happen.
But I'm just saying, like this. I think the media used it to spin it. I don't think it's nothing wrong with it.
It's nothing wrong with it. I just don't agree with it. But people think it's a crime to say LeBron is number 2 or something like that, and it's like no. You would think I said he was the worst player to ever play the game. I said he's number 2. What is the issue with being number 2? I was gonna have him above Jordan. I don't think I ever will put him above Jordan. But it's an argument. You can have the argument. We can have the debate, but you're not gonna.
That's a different show. Oh wait, that is. I watch so much Undisputed. That's brought up so much. I don't even know by the time LeBron's retired if that conversation is still gonna be.
No, because people
is getting to the point where it's like, all right. I don't
eventually, people are going to forget about Michael Jordan. Eventually,
it's going to have Michael Jordan.
LeBron James. It's going to come to a point in time. People are going to like a lot of these people. Young kids don't even know about Kareem.
Nope.
Like me growing up, I didn't know about Bill Russell. I didn't know about
Bill Russell. Yeah,
Oscar Robertson. I didn't know about these players, but I mean, you do your research on them and you see how they played and stuff like that. And that's just in any sport. You can look at any sport and figure that out. But
we're different. Yeah, I call ourselves sports enthusiasts because I'm a student in the game, so I like to watch old basketball games, old NBA, old NFL. I like the history of it. But you're right. Jordan said it. He said eventually. That's just the way life goes. If they have a 100th anniversary team, people are going to be saying LeBron because it's 25 years removed. And that's just how it's going to be. People are always going to remember Kareem. People are always going to remember Jordan. People are always going to remember Bill Russell. But this generation now are going to remember Steph Curry, LeBron, and KD. That's just how it's going to be.
Actually, watching those players in their prime is definitely going to shape a lot of opinions for people that either weren't alive or weren't old enough to remember watching, the Bulls in the 90s.
Some people have Steph as the greatest point guard of all time.
Yes, some people do.
It's just a different. I don't know, man.
I got Magic. I got.
It's just a different thing. It's just a conversation. I guess you want to have, but
conversation, man. That's what I'm saying, man. Steph changed the game of basketball. LeBron changed the game of basketball.
If you have a list and you have somebody like Michael Jordan outside of your top 5, I'm not going to talk to you. We just don't have
no. That's
LeBron outside your top 5. I don't want to talk to you.
That's a little crazy, Greg. That's
we're not gonna discuss anything. I'm just gonna go my way. You're gonna go your way. I'm not even gonna acknowledge you that you're in the room and you're still talking because you've lost all credibility. I have nothing else to say.
That's just pure trolling.
Yeah, that's
some people have said that LeBron's not in the top 5, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to talk.
That's skip.
We can talk about something else. We're not going to talk about basketball.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I don't want to do that.
People say it's like, oh, okay.
I heard at least one or two people say they don't have LeBron in the top 5, so I don't want to talk to them.
Yeah.
We can move on to something else.
All right, so I do like this. So LeBron said that. This isn't the first time, but he's been saying it recently. It's been coming up a lot more. That he wants to play with his son, Bronny. What's your thoughts on that? I like it.
Makes sense to me.
Like Ken Griffey Jr. and
that was exactly what I thought of.
I would love that. I think it would be good for basketball. It would be good for me watching it. That's like, for real, if Tom Brady had a son that played receiver, that was old enough and was in the NFL draft this year, Tom Brady would come out of retirement just to play, throw past to his son. For real, I would love it. I love stuff like that. But we'll see. Right now, I think if Bronny came right now, he's like the 30th to 20th best player in the country or something like that. So
in his draft class or in his
draft class, I think. Yeah. Is he the 20th or 30th?
Recruiting class. I think it's like in the 30s.
30s, right? So
I think he was lower. He was way lower than that at one point. He's moved up.
He'd be in the second round, I think. If but
well, I mean, it depends on what he does in college. But I mean, just if you're going to base off potential and possible what he can do as LeBron James' son, although it's kind of hard to live up to LeBron James. He's not going to live up. I don't think he's going to live up to LeBron James. But
oh no,
you can base it off of potential and stuff like that, and maybe he'll sneak into the first round. But he has to play well in college too. So
yeah.
But I mean, I would like to see LeBron, and I think that'll be the first father-son duo in the NBA to play together. I think it'll be the first father-son duo at the same time in the NBA together. I could be wrong, but I think so. I don't think it's ever happened. It's hard to play.
It's hard. You might be right.
Have your son come in there.
Yeah. You might be right. Baseball was only Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr.
It seemed like it would happen more easier in baseball because you can
play longer,
play longer, especially if you're, I don't know, a pitcher, maybe. No, maybe not. I don't know.
Is Patrick Mahomes' father still playing, or his father retired?
Who?
Patrick Mahomes. I know his father played baseball. Because if Patrick Mahomes went to play in the major league, I was wondering if his father was.
No. Yeah, his dad's retired.
Okay. But
I think there is.
Rare.
If any. But I mean, when you come in the league at 18 and you have a son young as well, you have a chance to obviously have your son play with you in NBA. Now, if they didn't have the one and done rule, you'd probably be there. Obviously, you'd be there sooner, or at least have the potential to be there sooner.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it'd be cool. It'd be cool. It just depends on where Bronny gets drafted at, and then obviously LeBron, if he's still wherever he's at, if he's in LA or if he's in Cleveland or wherever it is, figure out how to get out of that situation.
I mean, if he's thinking about it now, he's definitely going to set up his contract situation to be a free agent to be able to go wherever he wants. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, even if Bronny, doesn't flash a ton of talent in college, if you're a team picking, 26th, 27th, and LeBron's coming for a year with him, even a, pushing 40 LeBron, you not sign up for that?
You got to. Ticket sales are going up. This is last year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, his farewell.
And I mean, crazy. You have to imagine, with as much as LeBron wants it to happen, like, would he take on a decreased role with a team just to be able to spend that year with his son?
He has nothing else to prove at that point. So I mean,
exactly.
I think exactly he would do that.
Can you imagine a title contender drafting his son and then having a sixth man of LeBron James?
I mean, somebody said that. I think Nick Wright was like, if you have the 10th pick in New York, why not? Especially if LeBron is still averaging like 19 or 20. You get his son, you get LeBron, the ticket sales are going to be through the roof.
And it's irrelevant again.
It's going to be packed. And, I'm not saying it, but it'll be good for basketball. It's going to be great for the team. So that's kind of an incentive for teams, I think, to be like, hey, I'm not saying teams like the Pelicans. That's what we could talk about that, but I think it's going to be a team that's like the Knicks or Golden State, or it's going to be somebody that has a big market and wants to win, or it's going to be a team that could be Chicago. That'll be awesome, but it's going to be a team. It's going to be a nice either it's a mid-market team or a big market team. I don't see anybody like Memphis could, but I think they're really good with John Morant. So I don't see Memphis getting him. I can see OKC drafting him. LeBron going to play there.
Depends.
Yeah. But okay. Juwan Howard, man, got suspended 5 games for slapping. putting his hands on another coach. He swung at him. Let's just say that. He swung at him, mushed him, whatever you want to say. He was wrong for putting his hands. And now he was suspended 5 games, which is the rest of the collegiate basketball season. They're 14-11. I don't think they were in a tournament consideration anyway. But do you think the suspension was fair?
No, I don't. I think he should have got more games. I think he should have been done for the season.
Somebody said that.
Really
Chris Bouchard said that. He was done for the tournament and done for the season.
I think so. He did this last year against Maryland, and they got in an argument. Yeah, he said he wanted to kill the coach, Mike Turgeon. Said he's going to kill him.
What?
And they heard it. I mean, like you could hear the audio. So he said he was going to kill him. He apologized for that. So he has a history of being like a hot-headed coach. And granted, I don't think the whole situation. The situation is
player.
The situation is
like that as a player. You know?
Yeah. To me, if you're losing and you're pressing the other team full court, picking them up full court, and the other team has 10 seconds to get the ball across the half court line, and they call a timeout, it's like you can play hard and try to get a steal or whatever it is, but they can't call a timeout in that situation. Like you can't have it both ways. You can't just go hard and have them just not. Like you have to still be able to coach a team. If you're going to press, I have to call a timeout. I can't get the ball across half court. And he was mad about that. And then, but at the same time, the coach from Wisconsin, Coach Gard, he shouldn't have grabbed. To me, he should not have grabbed.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Like he shouldn't have grabbed him the way he grabbed him. But if you're Juan Howard, you don't have to take it to that extreme. And the thing is, at the end, he didn't even swing at Coach Gard. He swung at his assistant. He hit his assistant coach. He didn't hit the guy. So if you're mad at the Wisconsin head coach, go over there and make your way over there to him and hit him. Don't hit the assistant coach. Yeah. I'm pretty sure maybe the assistant coach said something or somebody in that vicinity said something and he took it out on them. But like, come on, man. But you have to suspend him for the whole season to set an example that this is unacceptable. Like now he gets to come back and coach his team for the tournament. Like he shouldn't be able to come back for that.
Yeah, you think he should have been
done for the season? Not. I don't think he should be fired, but I think he should be done
done for the season. Yeah,
some people have been saying like maybe fired or whatever it is, but I think just
I don't think he should be fired.
I think that the 5 games is fine for that incident itself because, as I said, when looking at replays of it, I feel like the Wisconsin coach was one that started the situation by putting his hands on Howard and making a thing. And you do have to punish him, and because it wasn't a punch, it was like an open hand grab, slap type thing. I think calling it a punch is overstating it.
Yeah.
But I would agree with Craig that he probably should have got suspended for the conference tournament because it is a second-time offense, second year in a row. And it's just for it to be an escalation of a repeat offense.
Yeah. I think you're right. They're not good. Okay. They're not good. They're going to be the NIT. They probably not going to win that. I think you sit them for the rest of the season because he sets an example, man. You know?
I mean, they are on the bubble, and they can make a run in the conference tournament, beat some top ranked teams or something like that, and they can get in.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're out, but
yeah, I don't know.
They started out highly ranked, or not highly ranked, but they were ranked, and they just haven't lived up to expectations this year. So,
all right, now we touched on this last week. I'm gonna ask this. Daryl Morey says he wants to let's forget the one and done with the playoffs, right? Well, no, let's not. Let's visit that. Let's touch on it. So 58 games in the regular season, but he wants to add a mid-season tournament, and then he says he should be 1 and 9. Well, no, the NBA's been wanting to do that anyway, Craig.
What does that do?
Yeah,
what does it do?
What's the point?
Like, I figure out what is it.
I don't know whether this season, but I know Adam Silver's been trying to add it. With the 58
what do you get for it?
I do not know what the midseason tournament is about, but Adam Silver's been trying to add it for years.
Somebody said if you win the tournament, you're automatically in the playoffs, and if you finish the season as like the 10th seed, then you leapfrog the 9 and you go to the 8 seed at that point. And whoever finishes 8, because you won that midseason tournament, they finish 9th and they're not in the playoffs or they're in the play-in game or whatever it is. I don't know. But that's what somebody said. And I was like, that's dumb.
But if you win the midseason tournament, you're probably a really good team and you're going to make the playoffs anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you're the Nets and you win the midseason tournament, you make the playoffs, and then what happens? What do you get out of it? Like if you're automatically going to be a playoff team, what do you get?
Do you just sit your guys to end the regular season and rest them up for the playoffs then because you're guaranteed?
You automatically go from if you finish 6th, you win the midseason tournament because then now it's precedence over the whole regular season. You go to the number 1 seed. What is the midseason tournament is dumb. That's basically what I'm saying. I think it's dumb.
I don't know what. There's no.
I've
talked about this for a while, but
there's no.
What's the incentive?
It's cloudy. I don't know what they're doing with it. They've been talking about it. They haven't said this is what it's supposed to be. It's just like a midseason tournament. It's like, well, anyway. Now I do agree with the short season, though. Yeah. I agree, man. You want
to instead of having star players sitting out 12 games a year, 15 games a year.
It wins for everybody.
Anyway,
everybody wins though.
To me, I can make an argument against it to me because if you shorten the season, now every game matters more. That means just star players have to play more and play more minutes to me so that means they're going to be tired more, right? And and then
you can space out the games more.
We're tired.
Just space out the games more.
If you go to 58 games, but you have it take up the same amount of time in the calendar, players get a lot lot more rest in between games.
Rest. Everybody
would do away with back-to-backs.
Yeah,
I think they're still going to sit out.
Trips, I think you're just too used to it, man. How many games you really watched in the NBA season?
I don't watch all 80. I don't watch a team 82 team schedule.
Listen, if they shrunk it by 15 games, it's good for the players, man.
Is it? I think these players are just more. How come in the 80s and 90s when the rules were so much tougher to get a foul, that players played a lot of the times they play 82 games. Now you very rarely find a player who's going to play all 82 games because they're sitting out.
Playoffs weren't as long.
Huh?
Playoffs weren't as long. They didn't have to play as much in the postseason. You added 10, 12 games to the postseason versus what they played then. Fewer teams get in. The first round was best of 1.
They added the potential for 2 more games in the first round. That's it.
So the first round used to be best of 3. Now it's best of 7.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So it could go best if you go 5 potentially. The most you could play best of 7. So now you're at 2 more games.
No, it used to be best of 3, didn't it?
It used to be best of 3.
No, it used to be best of 5. Best of 5. Got to go back and look at it.
I don't know, but
in the 90s and the 80s, it's been best of 5.
So, okay,
maybe before that, if you have to go back, it might be best of 3. But
maybe
in the 80s and 90s and 2000s.
So let me picture it this way. Let's focus. If you don't want it right, and say one and done. If they do one and done, it'll be like tournament style. How about if they do 3 games in the first round, right? Because most times it's going to be sweeps, right? 90% times the 8th seed against the 1 seed, the 1 seed is going to sweep them, right? That happens a lot, though. Right?
The Grizzlies.
So what if it was 3 games, then 5, and then the finals were 7? Or the conference championships were 7 and the finals were 7.
You don't want them to make money, I guess, because they're not going to make any money with this. They're not going to make as much money. You would have to increase ticket sales, increase concession prices. You're going to pay instead of if you normally pay.
I don't think a lot of people watch it as much as you think they do.
Watch NBA.
Yeah,
they're projected to make $10 billion this year in revenue.
Right, but I'm talking about if they did a tournament, if it was one and done, it would be.
It's not higher. NCAA's is not higher than their March Madness is not higher than NBA.
It is.
It's not. Look at the revenue of how much they make and how much NBA makes.
We're talking about the time frame, though.
It would be a better product, but they would make less money.
I would not want to watch a one and done NBA. I just wouldn't. It's just not the same.
But how many?
I mean,
How many?
okay, well, going into Game 7, what do you always hear? It's like, oh, it's the best thing in sports, the NBA Game 7 in the playoffs. Why is it the best? Because the game actually matters. Because whoever loses is done.
So you would want to watch a one and done NBA? I would not. If
If
you go into an NBA,
keep it 7
I think it's why the NFL playoffs is better than the NBA.
it's a more. I mean,
it is.
is it?
It is.
Super Bowl is. I'll give them that.
Let's play.
Um,
That's what the NBA is talking about, man. They're getting NFL is king in TV revenue.
I mean, the NBA has.
why would you do? I mean, it would be a lot.
But
harder
would you
to
think that?
swallow,
What about the
that's 2
3,
out of
5,
3
and 7?
Huh?
The 3, like the like.
I would not want to see
I'm
3.
a Lakers fan.
If you're going to minimize it, at least go back to 5. Best of 5.
Okay, so let's do 5, 5, and then
And I
7
wouldn't even
for
want
the
that.
conference and 7 for the finals.
If you want to go back to how it was before 2004 and have best of 5, then 7, 7, 7. Okay, 5, 7, 7, 7.
No, it would be. I would rather do 5, 5 than 7, 7.
No.
Because
They've
I
never done
guess
that.
I don't think that. I
I've never
don't.
done that. Why would you do that?
I
I
don't
mean,
think.
how many times do you have a full set of great series in the second round in the NBA?
I mean, you can say that about a bunch of sports. It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't. To me, that doesn't make the series less or more. But just because if the series goes 5 games, and every game is competitive, like a 2-score game or like a 1 or 2 score game, the series to me, the series was still good. It's just the fact that the better team won 4 games to 1. But I mean, if every single game in that series is competitive, a 1-score game, 2-score game, maybe even 3-score game, I don't see what the issue is with that. To me, it seems like
I just listen.
the problem is that the better team normally wins in the NBA versus college basketball or NHL or maybe even NFL, baseball, all these sports. Basketball, pretty much the better team most of the time, unless there's injuries, are going to win.
Basketball goes on runs, man. It's dynasty, right? This has been going on since the
stars control the league. So I mean, you have
since Magic and Bird, right? Then you have Jordan and Hakeem. Like Jordan retired for 2 years and Hakeem won 2 back to back. And then you have the Lakers. Basically, the from 2000 to 2010, Kobe was in 7 NBA finals. So the Lakers dominated. Yeah. And then the Heat won. It was mostly Lakers and Spurs.
Okay.
You can sneak in.
So you would rather have
I'm just telling you facts. Like, and then we go from 2010s to 20s. It's the LeBron and Golden State. I'm just saying this what NBA is. The NBA is
you would rather have Timberwolves versus Hornets in the finals. That wouldn't matter to you?
You said who?
Timberwolves versus Hornets in the finals. That'd be cool.
I didn't say the one and done. I'm just saying like shorten the 7-game series. I don't even think people watch. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. If it's Phoenix versus the Lakers, I'm watching because I'm a fan, but that TV revenue is gonna be a sweep.
A sweep for the Suns?
Yeah.
It wasn't a sweep last year. I don't think it'll be a sweep this year. I don't think it'll be a sweep because LeBron James is still on the other team. Now, if they didn't have LeBron James, then I still would call it.
Maybe one. With this construct, with this team, I don't know.
I'm not
honest, man. I don't know, man. It might be. Listen,
I'm not going to dismiss LeBron James and say, okay, they're going to get swept in the first round because they're playing the Phoenix Suns. I'm not doing that. But
listen, you
can be a Lakers fan all you want. I'm just saying, you don't. I mean, you think LeBron James is going to get swept in the first round in a 7-game series?
This team, man.
I think they can at least win one game.
Bad, man.
I mean, they're not good, but they can at least win one. So you mean to tell me if they were in a best of 5, they'd be even worse?
Do we get out the play-in? I hope we. It's bad. I'm just telling you, it's a lot of stuff going on.
If you're in the best of 5,
he's not happy with the organization. We're not a good team, and it's okay.
Yeah, they're not good.
We're not good. I don't see us getting. Listen, if LeBron plays without AD and we go against the Suns, it might be 5 games.
Okay, it's not a sweep.
Maybe. It's a gentleman's sweep.
Oh, what you want?
As a Laker fan, that's not good for me.
Yeah, but you can still
that moral victory.
LeBron can still say he's never been swept in the first round.
I don't want no moral shit. Hey, championship banners in LA, man. Anyway, what? I'm just saying, like, I don't think only people will watch the series is for LeBron, and it'll be a gentleman's sweep. But I'm just saying, like, you know,
I watched the finals last year. I thought the finals was good.
The finals was good last year, but we're talking about the first round. So, like, who's the first?
So what do you? Okay. So what do you want? You want 6 teams in the first round? You want the top? You want 4 teams in the first round? You want to shorten the NBA like it was back in the 60s and 70s and 80s?
No.
If you're going to keep this number of playoff seeds, you need to get through the first round quicker, because very rarely are you getting quality series in that round. So just get the bad matchups out of the way and get moving.
Yeah.
You want to shorten the first round back to how it was, best of 5? I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I think the rest of the series should be best of 7. And if you want to even shorten the minutes of each game from 48 to 40, I'm cool with that. I don't want to shorten this.
Maybe the second round, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I see 7 games for the finals. I see 7 games for the conference championships.
Each year you can have a series where the first round, or excuse me, the second round where it's a 4-3, or you could have it where it's a 4-0. It just happens. It just is what it is. You're not going to get every single series. It's not going to go 7 games. It hasn't happened.
I don't want it to go 7. I would love it. I'm just talking about the quality.
If you get swept, but every game is close, okay. If you get swept, but every game is a 2-point game, but every game is close, and you lose 4-0 versus a series where every game is a double-digit
most times not like
game, but it goes 7 games. Which one would you rather have?
But most times it's not like that, though.
Which one would you rather have? I'm just asking. Which one would you rather have?
I would rather
A close.
Yeah, of course.
The close 4-0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just think about it. Think about it, Craig. I'm just saying I'd rather have quality over quantity.
Well, that's quality. It's better 4-0, but you're still complaining about the sweep because they got swept. But at the same time, every game was close. Could have went either way.
Right, but
the 7-game series, every game
is
double.
Like that, though, Craig. Now.
It's not always.
You're not getting that first round.
You're definitely not getting the first round.
You never seen games. You never seen games in the first round where they've been close, or
when was the last time?
When's the last time, or what happened?
That you saw was close in the first round.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
There's, I feel it's.
You have to look
more
it
frequently.
up.
You're getting blowouts.
Not memorable. If you have to look it up, that means you don't remember.
I don't remember every single series from every single year. I mean, what do you want me to do?
That's what he's doing. It's not memorable. You would remember.
What do you want me to do? Okay, Denver versus Utah 2020 was a 4-3. First round. Overtime game, first game. Blowout, second game. Blowout, third game. 2-point game, fourth game.
In the bubble?
10-point, yep. Okay. I guess the bubble don't count. So we got to move on to something.
No, the bubble does count. I'm just saying.
Game 7 was a 2-point game.
Let's look at last year.
What was last year? Last year we had the best series was Dallas and the Clippers, 4-3. 10-point game, which is close to the fourth. A 6-point game, a 10-point game, close again to the fourth. A blowout in game 4. A close game in game 5, 5-point game. A 7-point game in game 6, and a blowout in game 7. But 5 of the 7 games were pretty much close.
5-game series.
5 games. No.
So I'm just saying, you just told me 2 were blowouts.
Yeah, okay. Out of 7 games, you had 2 blowouts.
Listen. Change the first round to 5 games. It's cool. It would have been cool, but I just don't think it needs to be 7.
Like I said,
listen. I love watching it. You do too, but I don't think the mass does. I think people are starting to they're watching more, right? Everybody's at home. People are watching more. They're streaming more. I think they want more quality. That's all I'm saying. I don't agree with the midseason tournament, but I do think you can restructure the playoffs a little bit. The plan is cool, right? But is it? Do you agree with the plan? You like it, right? But then you got teams that get to the 8 seed that be tired.
I like it because it requires you to finish out the season strong, at least if you're trying to make a push for the 10.
Yeah.
You don't have to tank your games all the time and whatever it is. But I think maybe that they need to redo the schedule and maybe have it like maybe the NFL does. It's if they're going to go with this playing game. So that way you're playing like division teams towards the last.
So you're saying
like the last 4 games of the season.
Oh, it should be.
You're in a 5-team division. You're playing all 4 of those games in the season are against your division teams, something like that. Or something like that.
Do divisions really matter in the NBA anymore, though? Other than you
don't
play those teams more?
They don't.
Because they don't mean anything for seeding anymore.
They don't.
What's the means for seeding? Is it just wins overall?
Well, it used to be that if you won your division, it was like what the 1-3 seed.
What happened? Wait, so they
took the divisions out. They took basically it goes by record. I think that's
it.
It's pure record now.
Yeah.
There's no divisions.
No, there's still divisions.
There are divisions.
No,
they just don't matter for
They don't really matter in terms of.
All they really do is help set your schedule.
It matters, I think, in terms of if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs, but then it becomes down to seeding as well. So technically, if you win your division, you're in, but seeding wise, it goes by record.
That's why I think that's why I don't hear it like I used to.
It's dumb, but at the same time, I guess it prevents teams who go 42-40 getting the 4th seed against a team who won 50 games, getting the 5th seed, and you get the home court advantage over them. But it happens like that in the NFL. It happens like that in NHL. Like Cowboys had a home game this year.
You said it happens like that in the NHL too?
Or not Cowboys, huh? It happens like that, yeah. NHL. Only thing is the NHL is that they reseed. NBA doesn't reseed. And NHL changed the way that they do their playoffs.
Oh, explain the reseeding?
Huh?
Explain the reseeding? I don't.
So if you had obviously the first 1 through 8, but say 8 beats 1, 2 beats 7, 3 beats 6, and 4 beats 5. Instead of having 8 versus 4, you would have 8 versus 2 and 4 versus 3.
Oh, they reseed like that.
Yeah, they reseed where the worst team plays the better team in the second round, and then so on and so forth.
I mean, that's essentially how the NFL does it. It's the best remaining seed faces the lowest remaining seed.
Oh, so the NBA
doesn't. Weekend.
They don't do that, do they? Do they?
NBA does brackets.
They just bracket, right? So if they did
NFL
that,
does. Yeah. It's kind of like reseeding, though, right? The worst team plays the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you think the NBA should reseed?
Like I don't know about that. I mean,
let's do an example.
That might not. I really think they need to change the way they do the playoffs. Anyway, I think like how when they were in the bubble, they had a chance to do the top, 20 teams or the top 16 teams.
I like
regardless of record, regardless of whatever. Even last year, they had a chance to do it. Top 16 teams make the playoffs. Don't just at least try it for like a year and see how it is.
Well, I think
the top 6.
I think that's another argument for shortening the season. Because if you can cut down the game some and increase the amount of rest between games, you could do away with conferences. And so you could allow time for more travel. So you could face, say, every team the same number of times. So every team has the same schedule. And then you see just 1 through 16 to get into the playoffs. You get the best teams every season instead of, like, for years you had the Eastern Conference that had often the 6, 7, and 8 seeds at or below 500.
Yeah. At some point, yeah. Back in the day.
If we're in the West, you have like the 11 seed have a better record than the East 8.
Yeah. Do you think? Oh man, that would be interesting.
But
go ahead. My bad.
I was just saying, the argument I've heard against going to just 1 through 16 is that the amount of it would increase the amount of travel required to adjust the schedule for teams to have to essentially travel across coast more to face everybody.
Well, Craig, you want
so
that,
if you
right?
cut back the season a little bit, you increase the amount of travel days, the rest time. I think that would make that more feasible. And I think a pure 1 through 16 would actually create a better product for the playoffs.
Did you suggest that, Craig? That you
I wanted to see it because they had an opportunity to actually do it. They had all that time off during the bubble time and actually say, okay, we're going to do the top 16 or the top 20 teams and give the first 4 best records a bye or something like that, whatever it is, and then go with that, or even do like the play-in type of thing what they're doing now, but just have the top. I think they went with the top 22 in the bubble. Yeah. But I thought they could have just done away with, at least for a year, just to experiment with it with no conference. And I mean, I guess perfect. It still matters for your. I don't know. I don't even know how that works, but yeah, just have top 16, top 20.
That would, in the bubble, you didn't have to worry about travel. Everybody was on site. Everyone was on equal footing. It was the perfect chance to experiment.
Best opportunity they had.
They won't have something like that again.
If they shorten the season and they say the best 16 teams, no matter what conference, it makes the playoffs, the games would be crazy. You wouldn't see a lot of people sitting out. I'm not even gonna say 58. Let's say they shorten it to 72. Right? Oh no, last year was 72. 82, right? So last year was 72. So say it's 65.
Turn it to 70.
Yeah,
it's gotta be even amount of games. It's gotta be even.
Yeah, so let's do 66 or 70, even 70.
Just say 70, just whatever.
70, and then they say the best 16 teams make the playoffs, no matter conference. That will be wild. Craig, that would be wild, yo.
It would change it up. It would get more, to me, maybe more viewers involved or just wanting to look at it.
Well, let's scratch the viewers. Let's say about the quality of basketball being played. I would love to see it.
I don't really know if the quality of basketball. It sounds like it would maybe, but like I don't know if the quality of basketball would actually be better. I really don't.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I think if you, to me, maybe not, but if you shorten the game to say 70 games, I think players are still going to take off 8 games or something like that. Have the ability to load manage themselves and take off 8 games or something, whatever reason you want to call it. But I mean, maybe like Corey said, if you space it out enough. I didn't think about that. That was a good point. If you space out the season enough to where you don't have as many back-to-backs, or you're not playing 4 games in 6 nights or 4 games in 7 nights or something like that.
It's a road trip. It's 5 games in 4 days. I'm like, what?
It might be better for you. But I mean, I just don't understand why this, to me, it just doesn't make any sense why this group of players are in a soft, not saying a soft, but in a softer league. Are more, they just don't play 82 games like they did back in the 90s or whatever. It's just weird to me, but because I don't think LeBron's ever played 82 games. I could be wrong. Like Gary Payton played 82 games 9 times in his career.
Kobe played 82 a lot. LeBron's played
82 games 9 times.
I think LeBron's played more than a lot from his generation. I think.
I think so too, but I mean, he's just been hurt the last couple of years for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just looking at, like, I don't think Steph's played 82.
No, I don't think he's.
Kawhi definitely. I don't think he's played 82. Dwayne Wade, I don't think he played 82. It's just so many guys that I'm just looking at.
Dwayne Wade when he was younger, maybe
didn't play 82. I looked at it earlier this morning, or yesterday.
Wow, I thought he would have when he was younger.
Kobe did like once or twice. But I mean, it's just I don't know. Whatever the reason is, just different load management type of and
he started that, man.
Well, I don't know if he started it, but he kind of endorsed it. Greg Popovich.
Greg Popovich, man. That's the first time I even and he would go hard too.
I mean,
like the Spurs versus the Lakers.
The Spurs really popularized that, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So I mean,
he would do it. He would do it if it would be like Dallas versus the Spurs.
And he would do it when they were on national television. Yeah, because the NBA got pissed.
He would be like, "Oh, all my stars are sitting." I'm like, "Wait a minute, it's the Lakers versus the Spurs, or Dallas versus." That's like, and Pop would not care either.
Oh,
man. But now it's like
about it. I can understand it. If you go to a game, you're expecting LeBron, and he doesn't play with management. I can understand. You play.
Rob Palmer says that. He says, "Man, you got cities like Detroit." So he brought it up.
These small market teams.
Steph Curry did it. Steph, Draymond. This is early in the season. They went to go play Detroit, and it was their last time playing Detroit. And Rob was like, "That sucks for a Detroit fan who bought the tickets, was waiting to see Golden State, and they're resting. I was like, yeah, that sucks. It does. I don't know. I mean, I guess back in the day,
I just don't get, and especially with like modern
oh,
medicine,
he
how
said,
advanced everything is.
I think
You can't-
LeBron.
Conditioning, training, all that stuff
Right,
is
all that stuff is
miles ahead
better.
of where it was 20 years
Oh,
ago.
Jordan did 9
82?
times. They said
Yeah.
LeBron James paid all 82 during 2018, but then one says
I don't think so.
Jordan did it 9 times.
Yeah, Gary Payton did it 9 times.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I just don't understand what's going
I
on.
know LeBron doesn't sit a lot, but yeah,
I'm guessing the game is faster or something. I don't know. I don't think it's more physical. Oh, you're right. He did. LeBron James did do in his last season.
I was just
I'll take that back.
I mean, yeah. Look at what I'm saying. I don't know. I think it started with Pop, unfortunately, and now it's for the health of the players. But maybe that's a sign to the league. Like, even though it could still happen, but it might happen less with less games, maybe. But Popovich would do it. He would go hard. Like, it would be national televised games on TNT, and he would be like, "No Spurs." And they wouldn't even have an injury or nothing. Like, all right.
If they do it, they have to figure out the salaries and stuff like that, because it's going to be hard to go from $50 million a year for a B plus player, and then all of a sudden now you're making that same player is making $25 million or something. I don't see that. I don't see that happening, especially with the salaries, the money going up. Like, it's been going up just about every year. Like, you're getting like, I think so. I mean, you're getting like what's the guy's name? Utah, Mike Conley. He's making like 30, 40 plus or something like that. Like, why? It's just crazy money out there, and I just don't. I mean, guaranteed. I mean,
sheesh, I can't believe what John Morant extension is probably going to be crazy.
Oh yeah, Luka.
Hello, Luka. You talking about 5 years, 200? It's a lot of money.
It's crazy. So
that's like generational. Well, I think Wiggins gets paid like, I think he signed a 5-year, $178 million.
He signed a big contract with Minnesota.
Who did?
He's not worth it.
Who did?
Andrew Wiggins.
No, he did it for Golden State. I think recently.
Oh, I thought
he get traded to Golden State.
He got traded to Golden State, and he did it recently to Golden State. That's why he got vaccinated. He got paid for like 5 years. It was crazy. I'm about to break it down. That was like,
I thought he signed the extension a few years back and then got traded there.
He did, but I think he just re-upped, man. And I was like, that's crazy amount of money.
It could be.
Well, I don't think he's worth it, but okay.
I mean, hey,
I mean, I'm not mad at him.
He signed a 5-year. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he signed the 5-year extension with the Timberwolves.
Damn, he's making 30. He's probably going to get that amount in 2023.
He should. He's an all-star. At least he earned his
pay. He probably is. Yeah, he's going to get paid that amount. Hey, man, if you listen, let me tell you something, man. Take advantage of it.
Got to. I mean,
if they're willing to
pay money, he's not even close to Andrew Wiggins.
He said who?
Mike Dellavedova and Tristan Thompson, all these guys who
you gotta take advantage.
Because they played with LeBron, they got a ring or whatever it is, and then they moved on to getting paid as a free agent. Yeah. So why not?
Yeah, and that's guaranteed.
I don't mean you're worth it, but I mean, why not take advantage of it? Might as well.
Guaranteed, man.
Yeah.
Which I don't think the NFL will ever get there, but
it's way more harder to do that in NFL with injuries. So.
Yeah.
It's very hard. But all right. Actually, speaking about the NFL, Brian Flores, he got hired as a linebacker coach and a defense assistant coach in Pittsburgh. Are you surprised by the hire?
No. I mean, Flores was more than deserving of a job somewhere.
Yeah.
Like personally, I would have loved to see him be brought on to Gus Bradley's staff in Indianapolis.
Oh yeah. Phenomenal.
And as so many people pointed out, Pittsburgh makes a ton of sense with Mike Tomlin being the quality of coach he is, combined with the fact that they started the Rooney Rule. It seems like a perfectly logical landing spot for Flores this year.
I like it. I am surprised. I am. I'm be honest. I was like, I thought he was done in the NFL because it just came out. He didn't sign. He was just on I don't know if you follow this podcast, but it's called I Am Athlete. He was just on there with, Brandon Marshall, Chad Johnson. I have to watch it. I haven't watched it yet. But he said that Dolphins wanted him to sign an NDA. He didn't want to because he wouldn't be able to, voice his opinion about.
Yeah.
So I'm glad for him. I love it. I'm glad he got hired, and he'll be in Pittsburgh, until he wants something else. Head coaching wise, Pittsburgh has always been like that, though. They have always been like they go against the grain, and they win. They win a lot of. They've won a lot of championships, and it's a great organization. So I love it for him there. But I am surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I was. I just didn't think he would. That's just me. I was like, oh, his NFL is done. You're surprised, right?
I am. I didn't. I mean, I haven't heard his name brought up in a while. So I was and the whole situation with Miami, and that's still going on, or whatever it is. And but I did see the story about how he posted. I don't know where he posted that on the social media, whatever it is, or whatever about the form or the contract that he didn't sign.
Yeah.
Miami. So that's never going to go away, I guess, at least anytime soon. But I am kind of surprised that he got hired just because I didn't think anybody was going to touch him with everything that's going on. And
yep.
But I guess if any organization was going to do it, to me, it was either going to me, if anybody was going to do it, I guess it would have been Miami, Pittsburgh or New England.
Yeah.
Those are kind of the only two I thought, just because New England just kind of takes Albert Hainsworth type players and just, or whatever. And I figured they could do the same thing kind of with a coach, with a guy that's going through a bunch of stuff.
And it's where Flores came from.
He's from that tree. So if they had a spot on their form, maybe. And then, but with Pittsburgh, I mean, their history and Mike Tomlin being there, and it's a stable organization. So, I mean, it's I think it's a good fit. So hopefully he can get eventually maybe get another shot at being a head coach somewhere down the line. I don't know where, but it's possible.
I feel like he was like, if he wanted a job, he would be able to find one in the NFL this year, largely, if nothing else, because the league probably knows him being unable to find a job would just strengthen his lawsuit, sadly enough.
Yeah, probably.
But and on the flip side, though, I think it's also a good move because, I mean, he's shown, if nothing else, he's a really good assistant coach. He's a good defensive coach. And there's a chance he may have burned bridges to become a head coach again, because with outing personal conversations between him and the owner of a franchise, another owner might be hesitant to hire a coach who they don't necessarily feel like whatever they say would stay private, even if, like in the case of the Dolphins and Stephen Jones, that stuff deserves to be outed.
Yes.
So it for Pittsburgh's sake, it's you can potentially get a really good assistant coach for a number of years, or if you get him for 2 years and he gets another head coaching job, then you're going to get compensatory picks for it now. So in every level, it made a ton of sense and was a great move by the Steelers.
Yep. And they're going to get phenomenal coaching.
And their defense is going to really need to carry them again next year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Speaking about that, Ryan Clark came out and said and I think him and Corey are on the same page with this, and I think we're all on the same page. If the Pittsburgh start Mason Rudolph, it's ridiculous.
He's 5-4-1 as a starter. Man, give him a break. He has a winning record.
Yeah, get him in Carolina.
He's got
Yeah. Trade a conditional draft pick for him.
It's bad enough down there, man, already. I mean, bad quarterback.
They're going to get, this is what I heard. I heard that they're going to go with Mason Rudolph and they're going to draft. You're shaking your head, Craig. They're going to draft either pick or
you're just wasting years. You're wasting a potential playoff defense.
That's a good team.
And a solid.
You're wasting a potential championship caliber defense.
You have good pieces on that offensive side, man. Like, you're just wasting them away with Mason Rudolph, man.
Yeah.
I can't.
They got good receivers.
Okay. You know what?
Young running back.
Good young running back.
Top tier defense.
I think the offensive line can work it out.
Oh, the line is bad. Yes.
The line is bad, but I think you can draft it. Kansas City could fix their line a year. You know, you could get two pieces to fix it. You know, but
the Steelers have a good enough front office to be able to fix the offensive line.
Yeah.
Even though are they still looking for their GM?
I think so. I think their GM left. I know he retired.
Colbert retired.
I think he's been there for a long time.
That's tough, man.
He's been there for a long time.
You know who the only quarterback to be under Mike Tomlin has never had a winning record?
Who?
Byron Leftwich.
Oh, for real?
He's 0-1. But yeah, Byron Leftwich.
That's why he was in Pittsburgh.
And he's not coming back anytime soon to make that one.
He was in Pittsburgh because Bruce Arians was there. Bruce Arians
is backup.
Yeah. That's what Bruce Arians told him.
He started one game and he lost. I don't know who it was against, but
that's crazy.
Interesting.
Let me see. No, I don't think they have it. I don't think because he retired, dude.
Who?
Kevin Colbert.
Yeah, Colbert retired. They're still interviewing candidates right now.
Okay, so this article was just published February 21st, 2022. It says that General Manager Kevin Colbert, he's in his final few months. He said
so I'm guessing he's sticking around to help pick his successor.
Which is cool. Told it's probably gonna be somebody from the inside. Told reporters Rudolph is penciled in. That's what Greg probably got. 5-4-1 as a starter.
Record, man.
He also says we're going to add to the position.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, so that's the key word. He is our starter now. That's the key word. So I mean, listen, 49ers already is dangling Jimmy G. I don't know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers, yo. I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. He broke up with Beyonce, which that came out of nowhere.
I'm so sick of Aaron Rodgers right now.
They just played.
I'm tired of the news.
He made this post, and I was like, I don't know what. I didn't pay attention.
Okay.
And people were like paying attention to it. I was like,
So did you see his interview, him on Pat McAfee's show on Tuesday?
So what happened? No. Because I know you.
Okay, so he did his weekly. So he did this Instagram post the day before.
Yeah,
talking to
everybody and all that, right? Because I follow.
Yeah.
Then
he goes on McAfee and it's like, I just got done with this 12-day cleanse and I was just feeling very grateful for everyone around me. And there was nothing to read into it. And essentially like trying to criticize anybody in the media who is reading into anything in that post. And it's like, just listening to him talk, it's like, you're full of shit. Like, you knew when you hit send exactly what you were intending to do. You wanted everyone talking about you.
Yeah, Devontae Adams,
Mission accomplished.
Randall Cobb. I was like, is he elite?
As a fan of Pat McAfee, good for Aaron Rodgers for helping Pat boost his ratings for that day, because everyone was tuning in to see if Rodgers was going to make his decision, especially because Rodgers said that he would do it on McAfee's show. But don't play stupid and be like, oh, there was nothing. It was harmless. I don't know why anybody would read anything into it. Get out of here.
It was weird.
He posted essentially a farewell on Instagram.
He did. I was like, what?
You're a diva. Everything you do has me. You know what you're
doing. I'm over Aaron Rodgers. I just want him to either say he's going to stay or go, and then we can talk about it or whatever. They're just doing it on TV all the time. I'm tired. I said it today.
Getting flashbacks to freaking ESPN, going and camping out in Mississippi's airport, waiting for Brett Favre to make his decision as to whether or not he was going to come back, freaking posting up at the high school stadium because, he decided to go throw with some high school kids. Who cares? Just wait for him to make his decision. I'm tired of hearing it. Rodgers has become Brett Favre.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, man. I have nothing to say.
To the point that I don't know if I'd want him in Indianapolis because I don't know if I'd want to deal with this crap.
Oh, you're gonna do it. He's deep. Listen, you get Aaron Rodgers.
He's a great player, but holy crap!
I heard.
Get over yourself.
After they're shopping Jordan Love.
I'm still convinced that I don't see any way that Aaron Rodgers allows Love to stay if Rodgers stays in Green Bay.
I would take him.
Worth a shot.
I would trade.
He's as big a question mark as most any quarterback in this draft, except he's got 2 years of NFL coaching.
Yeah, his 2 years of
and you're going to get him for what, a third?
Get him for a third.
And he's played one game. He didn't play.
Yeah.
And he lost by one score.
Yeah, I would try it.
On the road against a team that had made back-to-back Super Bowl appearances.
Kansas City, yeah. They say that's the hardest place to play in the NFL. That's what I heard.
And got 2 days notice he was going to start?
2 days, yeah. He ain't get no reps. I don't think Devontae Adams was playing that game either, was he? Was he? He might have been, but he only got 2 days. He didn't get no reps with the starters like that.
I'm not sure.
Well, I would. Would you? Give me answers. Would, because as a Commanders, I would, and I would let it develop in camp. But I'm going to ask both you because you have different teams. Would Craig, Carolina? Would you trade for Jordan Love a third, or you would just?
No, I mean they don't have any draft capital to trade. If they had draft capital,
you would take a flyer on them?
Would you trade a 2023 second?
Yeah, would you do
Jordan
that
Love.
for Jordan Love?
Yeah, probably. Just because I know the quarterback is not on the roster, maybe Jordan Love is, and you don't have to worry about picking a draft or picking a quarterback in this year's draft. I mean, unless you know that you're going to be so much better than people think you're going to be, and you're going to be not able to get Bryce Young or CJ Stroud next year.
Yeah.
Then probably, yeah.
You want to burn it.
I want to.
If you're Stephen Ross right now, you're offering money to tank.
This season's a wash, man. I don't have faith in Christian McCaffrey staying healthy. I don't have faith in the quarterback. I don't have faith in the offensive line. I don't even have faith in the coach to make a good draft pick this coming draft. I don't. I don't even know who they're going to re-sign. They still got to go out and re-sign some players on the defensive side, which they never re-sign cornerbacks for some reason. They just let them go,
which is weird.
And I mean, so I don't know what they're going to do, and I just don't have faith in this team. That's why I'm just hoping maybe 3 wins. 3-14, get a top
3-14. Coach is gone.
Jacksonville doesn't need a coach.
You're getting Myron Leftwich, and you're getting Bryce Young. That's your dream.
Jacksonville, the Jets, they're probably gonna be bad again next year, but they don't need a quarterback. Houston does, or they could use one depending on what they do with Deshaun.
I think they'll with David Mills.
I think they're running with Davis Mills this upcoming season.
And I think that's not bad for Lovey. I don't think they're going to be as bad as people. I think they're going to be a bad team. I don't think they're going to be top
I think
5.
they'll still be a competitive bad team.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're going to
like
lose
6,
12
7
games,
games.
but they're not going to get blown out. At
Yeah,
times.
they'll lose like 12. Yeah. They'll be 6 and 11 but it's not going to be like a bad,
Jacksonville.
Yeah, they're going to. So you're saying you want not even Byron Leftwich. Let's say, I don't know who's a hot young coach. He's probably
Just not Matt Rule.
Yeah, just not Matt Rule, and you want a top quarterback. I can see that happening
next year. Yeah, because I think like Detroit, they need a quarterback probably.
Nah,
Yep.
I think they probably take one this year. I think they take one late 32 pick with the 32nd pick quarterback.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't think they're going to take.
I can't even
one quarterback, then take another quarterback this year, which I think they're going to do, and then take another quarterback next year. I think
you load up a skill position talent.
Oh, they got
load up the rest of the roster and aim for the quarterback next season.
Yep.
No, let them go out to see. You got weird. Like just let them go for quarterback this year. Do it out of Sam Howe. Let them get Howe 32nd pick. We don't have to worry about it next year.
That said that they
Sam
were
Howe.
trade up.
Yeah,
they'll trade up and get a quarterback.
Gotta have the least amount of teams who need a quarterback in the top 5 terrible teams next year.
Thing is, that taking a quarterback at 32 doesn't guarantee that they still wouldn't have a quarterback next year.
But then that would be 3 quarterbacks they've gotten in 3 years if they take another one in 2023.
Oh yeah, because it's golf.
Also looking at 5 in 5 years.
All right, Corey. Let me ask you, Colts. Would you trade a third for Love?
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Keep Carson. Because words on.
I mean, I would try to turn around and flip Carson for a 2 or a 3 as well. I would be comfortable going into camp with Eilinger, Love, and if you want to go out and sign a Ryan Fitzpatrick or something, fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jordan Love could develop into the guy. I think get him into camp, get him into the organization early, give Frank Reich the full offseason work with him, full training camp, and take your lumps. It seems pretty apparent that the front office in Indianapolis has decided Carson Wentz isn't the guy.
That's
Wentz is going to be back. I mean,
is it a definite?
Chris Mortensen saying that it's expected Wentz will be cut or traded by March 18th. That's coming from Jim Irsay. So Carson Wentz's days are very likely numbered. I think it works out in Indy's favor that the quarterback, both draft class and free agent classes, both look pretty bad. So I think somebody could trade for Wentz, whether it be a Carolina, Washington, Pittsburgh. I think somebody will give up draft capital for him just because he is a starting caliber quarterback, and some offensive coach is gonna be convinced that they can work with it. But I take Jordan Love. I mean, I watched him in college because
Utah
ever since Utah State.
Okay.
Ever since Luck left, the Colts Twitter has obsessed with a quarterback in college each year, and it was Jordan Love, and reportedly Chris Ballard was interested in Love the year before that, even with Luck on the roster. So I think the Colts have done their scouting there. I think it'd be a interesting flyer to take. He's got a big arm. He can make big plays.
Big arm.
I'm for it.
I would like. So here's the crazy thing, Craig. I know you're out of it, right? Well, you're not, but you're not going to trade for Carson Wentz.
He's better than what they have on the roster.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I've been hearing for. So Nick Rice said this, and I want to get both of your ideas. This is funny. He said he would rather trade 1-year rental for Wentz than trade for Jimmy for a 4-year Jimmy Garoppolo.
I would rather keep Carson Wentz one more season than the Colts trade for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. I was telling my friends, I was like, it could, because he's not going to cost you a first, right?
Who?
Carson Wentz.
Wentz? No, I think
Not going to cost you
a 2
first.
would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
3, I think, is the
It's not gonna
expectation, at least
cost you
for me.
first. We can still build our roster out. And listen, if you are a quarterback needy team, you can still get, which I think is, I think these quarterbacks in the first round are hogwash. I think a lot of quarterbacks are going to fall. Yes, I think so. I don't think it I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I hope
I don't think there's going to be
doesn't go in the first 10. I hope so.
I could see that. Yeah. I think the top 15, I think quarterbacks will slide out of there. I would not be surprised if in the back half of round 1 you saw
Maybe like
3 or 4.
3 or 4 go.
Maybe even 5. Because if nothing else, also teams moving back up into round 1, because getting that 5th-year option on a quarterback is a pretty big deal these days.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I think that artificially pushes them up the board.
It's like if I'm the Commanders, you get Wentz, and I'll wait for round 2 to get a quarterback. Develop a year, right? Trade up, get like Corey said, trade up back in the first, get Malik Willis or Ritter.
So you get Wentz and then get a rookie quarterback out of this class?
Yeah, I mean, Wentz, we're not going to be bad. You're not going to have overall bad record.
I would not want to do that if I was
Carolina. You know, I'm not going to be with Wentz. If I'm ready to tank, if the Commanders are ready to tank, Heineke's a starter.
Well, they're better than. They're not in a position to tank. They can. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. With Wentz, we're not going to be in a position to get a quarterback. We'll be decent.
Yeah, you'll be good enough that you're not getting a top tier guy.
That's what I'm saying. If we get Wentz, yeah.
If you want Wentz for 1 year, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you was trying to keep him for like.
No. We're trading him, and then after 1 year.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Trade him and get a quote. Think about it. I think it would be worth it, and then somebody will pick him up next year. Somebody will. Somebody's always in this.
I mean, Mitch Trubisky is likely to get attention this offseason. Marcus Mariota's name has been hot for going into a second offseason now. Marcus Mariota showed in Tennessee he's not a starting quarterback. Nope. Got benched for Ryan frickin' Tannehill. Like, but he's getting a chance. So yeah, somebody will take a chance on Wentz.
Somebody's gonna take a chance. And if you're in a position like if you have a good roster and you think that you can,
if you're a team like the Steelers who has a veteran roster, is poised to make a playoff run, and you're looking at the rest of your division and it's pretty good. I think the Steelers would be much more comfortable rolling with Carson Wentz than they would a rookie quarterback.
I think a lot of teams.
I think a lot of teams are going to try to convince themselves that Jimmy Garoppolo is the answer, even though, like, the only thing I keep hearing is, "Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo is a winner." Like, team accomplishments don't make a great quarterback. Like, his teams win, but like he's always had really good defenses. He's had some pretty good skill position talent around him in San Francisco, and he's got a top tier play caller with him as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's always. I mean, I don't think San Francisco is going to take that much of a drop off. I don't.
Well, that they take any drop off.
I think Trey Lance is going to. I'm not going to say he's Patrick Mahomes, those 50 touchdowns. I'm not.
I mean, all you need to know about Jimmy Garoppolo is that a team that he was the starting quarterback in a Super Bowl for felt they needed to go trade up to get his replacement.
Yep. They traded the house. They didn't just they traded 3 first-rounders. And once again, you're thinking like they traded away their future. I mean, and I believe he learned a lot from
Jimmy. If he's good, it won't matter.
He's gonna be they're gonna be picking in the bottom of the 20s, 30s.
And the other thing to consider, I believe we touched on it last week, that if you trade for Garoppolo, he's in his final year, he's going to want an extension. So not only are you giving up draft capital to bring him on, you're going to be locked into him for 3 years at $35 million a season.
Yep. And that's not Wentz.
Nope.
You can trade for Wentz.
Wentz has 3 more years left on his deal.
Yep.
I think part of the trade, the Colts would eat some of his salary cap for this season as well to ensure a higher draft pick. And there's no guaranteed money on his contract beyond this.
Nope. So if he plays well, keep him.
And if he doesn't, you have no dead cap space.
No, I think, at first I was like, no. And I started doing the research. I was like, I don't know if I would mind Carson Wentz.
It's a roller coaster. But,
our division isn't, it's winnable. Like if Carolina got Carson Wentz, you're the number 1 team in that division. Nobody else.
I mean, there's still a lot to shake out for that division because there's a lot of uncertainty across it. But.
It's a lot, though.
I mean, there is talk that Wentz could be an option for Tampa.
Yep. Tampa's looking for a veteran quarterback. They've made that known.
Oh, yeah. They'd have to get a veteran to try to keep some of that core together.
They're getting
Although if you're taking a quarterback at the top of round 2, giving them a redshirt year, and then still don't feel that they're capable of coming close to the field, that feels like a bit of a red flag and a wasted draft pick. But
yeah, Kyle Trask, right? Yeah. They drafted him top of the 2. He sat a year.
Yep. Sat all of last year. I don't even know if he dressed the game. And it sure sounds like Tampa has no interest in him going anywhere near the field.
They have none. They came out real quick, so we need a veteran quarterback.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the last topic. This was very interesting. I didn't know this to be the case, but so at first the NFL there's no combine last year, I believe, right? No, was it last year? Yeah.
There was.
It was the year before, I think. All right. But the NFL combine, they were saying we're going to do it in a bubble. They have COVID restrictions. But 150 prospects said they didn't want to do the combine. And now the NFL has lifted it. I haven't heard anything about what the prospects think, but I did hear some stuff that a lot of prospects and agents don't like the combine. And I posted a quote from an NFL agent. It was a tweet. He said, as an agent, I struggle with the combine. Players get optimal nutrition and rest for games. The combine, almost opposite. Improper rest and diet, and tested in a cold, sterile environment. It's a part of why guys test better at pro days. And somehow the NFL has made it worse. So, does the NFL need a combine?
Yes. Look, the combine is still very important for the NFL. But the on-field drills, those aren't in the top 3, 4. I would think a majority of agents are very much in favor of the combine because it is a chance to get top decision makers for every team in one place. Because, the NFL has the legal tampering period. Yeah, well, free agent deals are starting to get discussed at the combine when agents can talk to personnel, to GMs. That's when those discussions are starting, even if they're not supposed to.
Is right. You're right, Corey. The combine is like a big meeting.
The number one most important thing
going on. That's what it is.
Yeah. Look, the number one most important thing with the combine is the medical checks. It is the chance where teams get to have players go through a complete, thorough medical evaluation, and countless times it's you hear about the medical red flags, potential injuries. There was one year a potential it was Maurice Hurst, a potential life-threatening heart condition was discovered during the combine in the medical checks. But that is the place where anybody that has questions about health gets checked out, and teams will make decisions as to whether or not somebody is on their draft board based on those medical checks. Then you have the in-person interviews. A lot of teams still put a lot of stock in those interviews and how those interactions go. And so then you have the agents' chances to talk to GMs and owners and stuff like that. And it also, I feel like, kind of works out as, I mean, it is a job interview for NFL players.
It is.
So it's one of those things that when a guy shows up out of shape or like fails a drug test, even though he knew a year ago that you come here, you're getting tested, like it's a definite thing. It can set off major red flags for people that aren't serious about the NFL.
Yeah.
And because you know exactly what you're going to be asked to do. And it's what, like, scouts and GMs, I think they'll weigh the combine numbers and pro day numbers pretty evenly. So it's everything else that goes into it that still makes it a really important part of the draft evaluation process.
What'd you think, Craig?
You asked the wrong person. I do not.
Oh, you don't like it? Yeah, that's why I asked you.
I don't like and it's not just the combine. It's any off season, unless it's the draft or free agency. I don't really care. NBA, NHL, baseball, football, same thing. But I'm not saying it's not important. I mean, a lot of the stuff Corey pointed out, I didn't even think about, like the medical checks and things like that. Like, I'm not really for all the drills, because to me, it's like, if you run a 4.240 and the guy runs a 4.4, that don't mean the guy who ran a 4.2 is better than the guy who ran the 4.4. You're just faster than him, or you were faster than him in that 40 time for that one specific run.
John Ross.
I mean, that don't mean you can play football. Like, it's, to me, like, I like the pro days. Obviously, now the player controls the pro day more, so he's not getting evaluated medically, and probably not medically, and like, there's not as many scouts there maybe as it would be at a environment where you have 150 players or something like that in a combine environment, and all the things that happen. Like Corey said, with the guy getting checked out and they had a heart condition and things like that, stuff like that, like, might go unnoticed at your pro day. But I think at the pro day, if you're doing it, you can control it better, and you have the ability to put on, like, you do whatever you want to do there in that pro day. Like, if you want to just throw passes as a quarterback, you don't have to run a 40 or whatever it is. I would assume. Like, I don't know how exactly everything's broken down, but some stuff you just don't have to worry about doing. Like, either you can play football or you can't. And to me, having a combine where you're just running drills and there's no defenders out there, to me, that doesn't prove anything. NBA does have their own combine, or whatever they want to call it too, summer league and all that stuff. Summer league is different because they're actually playing against actual people, but you're not going as hard as you would be playing against LeBron or Steph or somebody like that. So it's kind of different. But at the same time, like, you're still going against actual players, but you're not going against nobody in these combines. You're just throwing the ball up, and I'm pretty sure you can make that throw. I don't know why you couldn't. If you can't make that throw, and he's wide open, and you're throwing the ball with no defenders out there, why are you here? You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be at the combine. Just do your own pro day and have it set up to where you can control it better, or whatever it is. But like, I mean, I think it serves its purpose. Medically, definitely. That's a good point. Like, that's a big thing that they have done in the checkout, and make sure everybody's cleared medically just to be able to compete in the NFL. And drug testing is another thing that Corey pointed out that, I didn't think about. That's good to have as well. But I just don't know about some of these drills, man. I don't.
Oh, so they did cancel it last year.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yep, it was canceled last year.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bad look from the NFL trying to do this stuff, considering you just changed COVID testing policy for the NFL playoffs to seemingly ensure Green Bay wouldn't run into any issues, or any team for that matter, but whatever. So you can't go a complete different direction a few months later, and trying to say you're going to institute all of these policies. That was really dumb. But yeah, a lot of the stuff going, it's one of the, because the NFL, like, they're selling tickets to allow fans into the combine now, so they're trying to make money off of it.
Yeah.
And that's why there's talks of them moving the combine out of Indianapolis so they can go to different stadiums, make a bunch of money. But that's also why there's some teams, like people within organizations, saying that's dumb. Don't take it out of Indianapolis, because you have everything you need to do all the medical checks, the interviews, everything right there, consolidated into one small location. Like all of the hotels are a couple of blocks from the stadium.
Yeah.
You have the space for the interviews, all the medical equipment on site. Whereas, like, say they do and move the combine to Dallas. Okay, you have the stadium out in the middle of nowhere, so you're having to shuttle between hotels back and forth. Then you're having to shuttle them elsewhere to go get medical checks, and it becomes a logistical nightmare that, of course, the NFL isn't thinking about ahead of time, because why would they? But it's and I don't think you have those medical things. I think the interviews are a little harder at pro days, stuff like that. And a lot of the drills that you see don't, like, people watching like us, like the 40 is a big one that people watch just because it's a number that's often quoted. But like you look at Jerry Rice ran a 4.71 40 coming out of college.
I think Debo.
Jerry Rice got out in the open, nobody was catching him.
Yeah. Debo wasn't his, Anquan Bolden's 40 wasn't.
Yeah. So it's the drills themselves may not necessarily be the biggest thing, but I think the combine itself is still necessary.
Yeah, I wouldn't do away with the combine.
I don't think they should, but I think this puts them on notice to correct some things.
It was a massive overreach at a control to try to institute the stuff that they did. It made no sense.
Yeah, I think they should change some stuff. If they should listen now at this point, because now it's
I think they are listening though.
Yeah, they
got rid of the Wonderlic tests.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh God, that
didn't make any sense to me.
That's a dumb test. Not gonna lie.
It didn't make no sense to me.
It didn't.
People will score high and then be out the league in 1 year. And to me, you know what? I hear this from GMs all the time. GMs and scouts. A lot of them don't really like the they say the combine is for us because they're saying you can watch game film. Film matters. Film is the key. It seems that overreach for John Ross for running a 40, the Bengals at 10, you weren't watching film. But that's what they said. They said film trumps all. So, a guy could have a great combine day and be horrible film.
Yes. Every year you have that workout warrior that puts up crazy numbers at the combine.
Yeah.
The owner sees it, pushes the draft them high, and they wash out of the NFL. Darius Hayward-Bay, Ross.
Like, as soon as the season's over, some people, especially if you have a high draft pick, or they have these camps where people go specifically to test for the combine.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So
you look at Chris Ballard, who has empirically over the last 5 years been one of the best drafters in the NFL.
Yeah.
He puts significantly more weight in the Senior Bowl than he does the combine.
Yes, I love the Senior Bowl, man. I love it. So many.
It is the top tier talent facing against each other. And watching those practices is actually pretty fun because those guys start getting really competitive in those one-on-one drills.
And you get to see every year. I started paying attention to the Senior Bowl when Shanahan. I say this all the time. When Shanahan was the coach, and every year after that, I started paying attention. There's so many people that have played good during the Senior Bowl that got drafted high and played well. Deebo Samuel stood out during this Senior Bowl. He got drafted, and look what he's doing. It's just that. Number one, it's super competitive, and it's NFL. You get coached by NFL guys. And like Corey said, you're around alpha, so you're gonna have to the leader step out. Like you're against top tier talent at this point, so it's good to see people's names start to, get.
I think it would be really interesting to see a list of the Senior Bowl standouts, combine standouts, and which list looks better 5 years after that draft.
Wow.
because I would be willing to put money on the fact that the Senior Bowl standouts are almost every time going to have better careers than just the Pro Bowl or the Pro Day or Combine. There we go. Combine standouts.
Yeah, man. So I just think that coming from that agent, I just think the NFL, listen, people are like, okay, if this is people's concerns, I think the NFL should listen, because if they shouldn't move it and get money off it, that's just not gonna allow, that's gonna make it's gonna make it worse in my opinion. I think you keep it at Lucas Oil. I think you keep it how it is, private. And if some people have improper rest and diet, fix those concerns, right? Get a make the, like, just listen to the players and tweak it. But I don't think they should get rid of it. But like, I definitely don't agree moving it to other stadiums.
Oh no, it's that would just exacerbate the issues.
Yeah. If they do that, it's just, I mean, at that point, I probably will stop watching it because it become a spectacle. Because it would be like, it kind of loses its mystique. Like, because there's just coaches, NFL players, NFL Network. So you have the media, you have coaches, you have GMs, you have scouts, and then you have, of course, the media. That's it. There's no, I can't go in there, Corey can't go in there, you can't go in there. And I don't want to. I want to keep it how it kind of is, Senior Bowl is different. That's a different thing, but I don't want to, I'd rather go to a Senior Bowl practice and see how it is.
Oh yeah.
The combine.